Happy Easter in case you're celebrating, and this video will be about some summarizing thoughts about the last couple of days and weeks that I've spent here in China. I tried to try as many cars of the competition as I could, and the reason was, of course, I tried to find out where's Tesla standing, where's NIO standing in comparison to that, and I will make really detailed videos about this, like in long form, 30 minutes or more, in my Patreon community. So join that if you are interested in such kind of content, looking deeper at the aspects of each of the cars. And by the way, I've just dropped a video about my visit to Xunlei headquarters here in Shenzhen. So I had the opportunity to speak with the CFO and the investor relations team. And that one was also just uploaded to Patreon. If you are in the $10 tier, you have access to those videos. Now, to the summarizing thoughts, why am I making this video right now? Well, first of all, it's kind of trying to summarize a little bit, where I think NIO and Tesla come out after viewing all of these cars, but also the latest numbers, in particular in relation to NIO, have shown that there is one main competitor which they might be losing sales to, or is making something better than NIO for sure, and that is Li Auto. So I always try and stress on this channel that Li Auto, in my point of view, is not an EV company, but this might be about to change. During the Auto Shanghai, which is going to take place in roughly a week, they are about to introduce their first all-electric model. And this one will be interesting because I think we must watch this model in comparison to what the rest of the industry is doing. How well will they be able to sell an all-electric car? Because clearly the current cars are not all-electric. And I think that's kind of my major point here, is that they're giving the market or the consumers something which they really want right now. And that is, in the first place, the green license plate. So you get this license plate with a Li Auto, basically allowing you all of the stuff to do that also a normal fully electric car can do. So you have less regulations, you have easier access to such a license plate. And now this is one of the main reasons why people are actually buying fully electric cars as well. But Li Auto is also fitting in that category. So if you need a car that can drive into the city, with a green plate only, then Li Auto delivers that. But they're also giving you something more, which is, let's say, better entertainment in the car. So they have, of course, this advantage, let's say perceived advantage versus NIO, that they offer, for example, a passenger screen and also a screen in the back. So for children that want to be entertained during the ride. And so Li Auto really stands out from my research here on the ground as one of the main competitors to, or threats to, NIO's approach to try and break into this premium to luxury segment. Because I think actually NIO is doing a good job at that, and my summary here would be that I haven't seen anything that would threaten their positioning right now in China. I was a bit more, if you watch my latest video, on the conservative side regarding their development of the software and also the interior of the ET7, for example. These are ways or areas which they should improve. But just again, I checked out all of the other cars and also came back to many NIO stores and tried the software also in comparison to Tesla, frankly, again. And my ultimate conclusion would be that actually NIO has done their homework and they're doing their job. Also, the latest software update is quite in the right direction, although we have those competitors from different fields, like smaller companies, smaller startups, Huawei in particular, with the Harmony OS coming into some of these companies like Avatar or the Aito, sorry. So these car offerings are really good, actually, in a point that the software is good. They all have the screens. They're all fully electric. But in the end, there's nothing there that I see currently that is doing a better job than NIO at bringing this premium to luxury design angle to it, and a better quality than all of the rest that can clearly compete with something like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, and the likes. And I think also in this price war, to speak quickly about Tesla, it really has started to differentiate from Tesla in this regard. And I once again checked also in the direct comparison between Tesla and NIO, and there is a big world in between when it comes to the feel and aesthetics of the car. And by the way, now even when it comes to the software, I had the impression, I need to be honest about this, when I sat in a Tesla car in the showroom again, that the software starts to feel a little bit outdated here if you compare it to those other car companies right now. And even NIO, while it may not be as snappy and responsive as the best software out here, but still also the screen is better. And I think it's time for, as Tesla has announced, to work on some of these updates for China specific, and that's also good why Elon might be coming. But coming back to whether or not there is an issue with Tesla and NIO in the market here, from my point of view, what Tesla is still doing incredibly well is that they give the customer what they want, which is a very high performance for a low price. They are now cutting cost, and not only cutting cost, but also cutting prices. And of course, the Chinese consumer is still very cost cautious. And this is maybe an issue for NIO, right? Why they are more niche and why they won't have the same addressable market than a Tesla and others. But now, why is the Li Auto example so interesting is that they're actually even selling at a higher price, I think slightly higher price on average than NIO currently. So you can't rule out that Li Auto is only doing better because there are less pricey. No, that's not the case. And so NIO really needs to ask the question, why is Li Auto now selling double the amount of cars than NIO? And I think one reason is that they are similar to Tesla in this regard, that they are more pragmatic at giving the consumer exactly what they want. So it's very, very niche targeted at the, or not niche in a way, but very, very targeted and built around the preferences of larger families. So more than one kid possibly, that have lots of space to be carried around, and these kind of mini multiple use vehicles, they are very, very let's say popular here in China. And Li Auto really started to develop something very, very specific for that. And the problem for NIO is they are targeting some of the same customers, which are higher net worth, wealthy, affluent, and can afford a bit more in our families. And what NIO is doing very well is with the ecosystem around it, with the kindergarten in the NIO houses and so on. They are catering that need specifically. So this is all very well done. But for the car, users need to make quite some compromises. For example, if they want more entertainment for the kids, they don't get the second screen for a NIO car, right? And this shows a little bit, I think, the true success of Li Auto, focusing more on the actual deliveries of, meeting the final, the pain point of the customer in a way. And NIO is not so focused on that. They are more about, building a larger vision here with their ecosystem, and really trying to, define what this premium experience really means. But not everyone is going to buy into that. And so it's less pragmatic, and it's less focused at the early needs of the target of the customers right now, which, by the way, won't even care about whether or not Li Auto currently is fully electric or not. Now, this could still be a problem for Li Auto down the road, as they are switching to a fully electric lineup in the future, because they have to. This is the future. There's no way around it. They might be in behind in actually building out the charging infrastructure. And we also don't know how well this fully electric vehicle will actually be selling in comparison to their sort of hybrid cars currently. And this is, I think, where NIO, with their investments in infrastructure, and also Tesla's as the front runner of investing in charging infrastructure, has chosen a different path. And while this is showing up in more investments and R&D and cash burn for now, in the long run, this might be the winning strategy. But the question is still, what will NIO do about the fact that they also need to listen a little bit more maybe to catering the current needs of the customer in terms of having an offering that is, more people are willing to opt into now, not only at a later point in time when the ecosystem is fully developed, but actually meeting the market needs as of today. And of course, here is the issue that more and more players are coming to the market, and this is posing a potential threat to the sales targets of NIO, that's for sure. On the other hand, I think it would have been a more difficult thing to solve if NIO wouldn't have a clear positioning developed and a clear differentiation from competitors. And after being on the ground here and having viewed multiple of those competitors again, as I mentioned here, my summary takeaway is that NIO has clearly developed such kind of a USP, a unique selling proposition, but the question is, like, how big is this USP right now? How big of an addressable market is it? And here it seems NIO itself is also thinking, with the development of their two sub-brands, that they need to also open up to a larger addressable market. While still we have all of the potential of the upcoming models that are also going to be released at the Shanghai Auto Show, which in itself will also create a larger addressable market, again, with new lineups, new models, that each of them itself is quite niche, but as the models range is growing, overall, you need to be aware that currently they actually only are selling two models, right? The ET5 and the ES7. But now with the updates that are coming and more models that are coming, finally all of them on the NT 2.0 platform, this will itself also enhance the potential market for NIO. So I hope you like this quick Sunday thoughts here around this wrap up. Certainly going to make more videos on these insights, particularly which kind of competitors I found interesting of benchmarking. Then thank you guys for watching and see you on the next video.